सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः। Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Amrita. Before we carry on with today's video, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. In today's video, we are going to continue with our story of the great epic Mahabharat. I have done a part 1 to this video. I will leave the link in the description. You should definitely go watch it if you haven't watched it yet. We left until the part where Devavrata was born. Ganga gave birth to 7 children, drowned them into the river, and then when the 8th child was born, Shantanu stopped her and she took away the child with her, telling that she would make him prepared, she would teach him all that had to be taught to become a king, and then send him back at the age of 18. So Devavrata was taken to the abode of the gods, was taken to heaven, and he was trained in all possible way to become the best king on the earth. He was trained by Rishi Brihaspati about all the duties of a king. He was trained by Shukracharya about political science. He was trained by Sanat Kumar about the mental and the spiritual aspects of a human being. He was trained by sage Vasishta about the Vedas and the Vedangas that had to be learned to become a sage. Lord Parashurama taught him warfare and the various ways to win in a war. And of course, Lord Indra bestowed him, blessed him with various celestial weapons that he could use during a warfare. So after 16 years, when Devavrata was 16 years old, Ganga brought him to the river Ganges in Hastinapur. Shantanu knew that this was the day that he was waiting for. So Shantanu was already waiting on the banks of the river Ganga. So when she brought Devavrata along with her to hand him over to his father, Shantanu was just blown away. He was so happy to see his son after 16 years of separation. He was so happy that there was a huge celebration in the city. He was welcomed very well. The father just loved his son. He used to take care of him so well, and the son was equally so good that all the subjects of the kingdom started loving their new prince. They started adoring him. He was considered as their future king, and they were all looking forward to see BHEESHMA, and they were all looking forward to see Devavrata ascend the throne and rule them. And of course, Shantanu promised that he would make Devavrata the king, and he was so happy about his decision. Everything was happy, everything was smooth. But you know, in life, when everything goes on well, something has to come as an obstacle. So one day, again on the banks of river Ganges, when Shantanu was walking, he saw a woman that belonged to the fisherman's clan. She was so stunning. She was gorgeous, and he was blown away by her beauty. He followed her to her place and talked to her father if she could marry him. That woman was called Satyavati. Satyavati's father was reluctant because he knew that Devavrata was supposed to become the next king of the kingdom, and he wanted Shantanu to make a promise that the child that is born to Satyavati and Shantanu becomes the king of Hastinapur and not Devavrata. The king was shattered. He could not agree to such a promise, because he had already made a promise to Devavrata that he was going to become the next king. Disheartened, feeling low, the king returned back to his kingdom. He was very upset. Devavrata, being the good son that he is, went and asked his father, "What's wrong, father? Why are you so sad?" Obviously, Shantanu did not reveal the truth behind his sadness to his son. He just kept quiet. So Devavrata has made a few inquiries, and they say the driver knows all the secrets in the house. So again, it was Shantanu's charioteer who told Devavrata about the whole thing that had happened, about how Shantanu had met Satyavati and about how he wanted to marry her and about Satyavati's father's conditions. Devavrata truly believed that he had to make his father happy. So he went to the house of Satyavati, spoke to his father, told him that he is not interested in the throne and he would let the son born to Satyavati and Shantanu take over the kingdom. Again, Satyavati's father was not happy. He wanted the throne to be given to his generation. So he told him that, okay, now you're going to give your kingdom to the child that is born to Satyavati. But what about your son? When my grandchild cannot become, then your grandchild will become the king. So that is when Devavrata took a vow to stay a bachelor for the rest of his life. In that way, there would be no son. In that way, Satyavati's son, the grandchild of Satyavati, could rule the kingdom. The entire empire, the lords, the devas, they were all shocked by the vow that Devavrata took to make his father happy, to fulfill his father's desires. He vowed to be a bachelor for the rest of his life. He took the Brahmachari Vrata. Hence, Devavrata became Bhishma, the inevitable one. The one that is so powerful to take such a vow, and even more powerful to keep it throughout the entire, and even more powerful to keep his vow throughout his entire life. Knowing this, Shantanu was happy. He was spellbound. He didn't know how to react. So he blessed Bhishma with a boon, and that was Ichha Mrityu, that Bhishma could die whenever he wanted to, not if something happened to him. His soul will leave his body only when he wished that it could. So that was the boon that was given by Shantanu to his son Bhishma. That is how Devavrata became the great Bhishma. And by the boon that was given by Vasishta, he was definitely born to rule the entire world. He was born as a very, very Veritan, a person that would be so famous that the world would talk about him. And yet I am here still talking about the good deeds done by him. I hope you like this story of how Devavrata became Bhishma. If you have any doubts, then do let me know in the comments. I would definitely love to answer them. And we will continue our story in the next video. Until I see you next time, bye. Be good, do good. Thank you.